What's up, everyone? So today I'm gonna be talking about um the Wolverine Insomniac game that's coming out in September again, and I wanted to talk about some of the rumors that are uh going around about this game and certain characters that might appear in this game. And yeah, so if you guys enjoy this type of content, please do me a huge favor and subscribe, like, and share this video. I would really appreciate it, and it would really help me out. So yeah, let's get started. Um yesterday there was a big rumor that Daredevil, my favorite superhero, one of my favorite superheroes and a big inspiration of mine. Daredevil has been a big inspiration of mine since I was five because of Matt Murdock doesn't let his disabilities define him. I know he's a fictional character, but you can look up to fictional characters as well as real life people, and Matt Murdock has always been an inspiration to me. And I want to make this very clear, this is a rumor that he's going to show up in Wolverine. Why would Daredevil show up in a Wolverine game, I hear you ask? In the Wolverine game, in the trailer that they released a few weeks ago, showing the gameplay for the first time and showing some of the villains, Wolverine was fighting a organization in the Marvel Universe called the Hand. The Hand has their hand in all corners of the Marvel Universe. The Hand have fought Daredevil, Elektra, Iron Fist, Wolverine. Who else have they fought? They've even fought like the Hulk and stuff like that. They're gonna be in the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Right, that's in the trailer. They're gonna be in the new Spider-Man movie. So but in this case, like we know that Wolverine is gonna fight the Hand in this Insomniac game, um and the rumor is that Daredevil is gonna help him fight the Hand. Now, I don't know how accurate this rumor is because uh there is a great Wolverine story where if Insomniac takes influence from this story, it would be a great story arc in the game. Um, the story that I'm talking about, and if you're a comic book fan, you should know this story, is at Wolverine Enemy of the State. What happens in Wolverine Enemy of the State is Wolverine gets mind controlled by the Hand and he has to fight like um uh I I believe it's Captain America. I'm forgetting the exact character. He has to fight like Captain America. They could easily replace Captain America with Daredevil. And Daredevil, like, I've wanted a Daredevil game for years, bro. And Insomniac is slowly building their Marvel gaming universe because this takes place in the same universe as with Spider-Man games, right? So they're slowly building their universe, and PlayStation and Marvel's relationship is pretty tight. Like they have two Marvel exclusives coming out this year: Marvel Tokon, Fighting Souls, and Wolverine. So, do I fully believe that Daredevil is gonna be in this game? No, right? Um, but if he was in this game, would I be very excited? Hell yes. Hell yes, I would be very excited. Also, even if Daredevil's not in this game, it looks like Logan is um gonna be in Japan for part of the game. The story arcs where Wolverine's in Japan are some of the best Wolverine story arcs in the world. Like it looks like they're doing a character called Ogon, and um and he's a dope character. They could be doing Silver Samurai. Well, if he's in Japan, they're probably doing Silver Samurai. Um, Obviously, they're doing the Hand, right? And they've said that this Wolverine game is a global adventure with Wolverine. Now, as I said, it is a Wolverine game, right? And we already know a few characters that are appearing besides Wolverine. We know that Jean Grey's appearing. We know that Mystique's appearing. We know that Sabretooth's appearing. We know that the Hand's appearing. We know that a Sentinel or Sentinels are appearing. But like Daredevil doesn't have to appear in this game. But if he were to appear in this game, I would be very, very, very excited to see the possibility of Insomniac's take on Daredevil, because one of the things that I'm most excited to see with Wolverine is Insomniac's take on Wolverine, because their take on Spider-Man is very unique to the Insomniac version of Spider-Man, right? Their take on Wolverine, I'm assuming, is very unique to their take on Wolverine. So for me, I hope that Daredevil is in this game, so it continues to build that universe, that IMGU, the Marvel Gaming Universe, the Marvel Insomniac Gaming Universe. But even if Daredevil's not, and it's Wolverine fighting the Hand, I hope they take influence from Wolverine, Enemy of the State, because again, that's one of the best Wolverine stories ever. So yeah, another rumor that I wanted to talk about here is the main villain. So the main villain hasn't been revealed, and I don't think will be revealed until the game comes out, because if you look at Insomniac's past Marvel games, they haven't revealed the main villain. Like, for example, Venom was in the trailers, and we could all assume that he was the main villain of Spider-Man 2, but the marketing of that game made it seem like Kraven was the main villain of Spider-Man 2, right? Um, they didn't even reveal Dr. Octopus until the game came out, right? And he was the main villain of Spider-Man 1, right? The Tinkerer ended up being the main villain of Spider-Man Miles Morales. So if I'm talking as a fan here, I think it could potentially be Sabretooth. I know Insomniac said in their interview you play Sabretooth will help you, and he'll well, they didn't say help you, like he'll compete with you to see who can take out the most people, right? Um and but Wolverine and Sabretooth have a very, very complicated history. Like, for example, there's a story arc in the comic books where Sabretooth, and it's very recent as well, where Sabretooth, um, where Sabretooth goes and, um, takes out all of Wolverine's friends and basically leaves body parts for Wolverine to follow. For Wolverine to find, and then he goes and finds Sabretooth, and then they fight. Right? Now, we all know, I'm assuming most of y'all have seen the gameplay, if you're watching this video. We all know how violent this game is. We all know how violent the Wolverine character is. We all know how violent Sabretooth looked in the Wolverine trailer that we got. I think Sabretooth could be a possibility of a main villain. I also think who I don't think will be a main villain is like Magneto or um Mr. Sinister, or like an X-Men villain, cuz and this is just my opinion, I think Insomniac's going to do an X-Men game one day. And And Wolverine is one of my favorite characters. And I would love to see Insomniacs take on the X-Men. Just like I'm so excited to see their take on Wolverine, right? Now, as I said, this is a Wolverine game. It's not an X-Men game. So Magneto uh wouldn't be a good villain for a Wolverine game. Well, he's a good villain in anything that he's in, but he wouldn't be a good villain for a Wolverine to fight because when Wolverine fights Magneto, Magneto can just rip out Wolverine's adamantium and make him feral Wolverine. Now that I think about it, that would be a really cool sequence if that were to happen in the Wolverine game. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, they do it at the end of X-Men 97. Like, Magneto rips out Wolverine's adamantium, and he becomes feral Wolverine. So when we pick up with X-Men 97 Season 2, it's coming out July 1st, um, we'll get to see feral Wolverine. Um, and yeah, so for me, I don't think Magneto will be a villain in this game. If he is, I think he'll be referenced, but that's about it, right? Um, right? We already know the X-Men don't exist in this universe yet. They're a team called Team X, which is from the comics, which the roster of Team X can include plenty of different interesting characters, with Logan being one of them. So it's usually Logan, Mystique, Sabretooth, and sometimes the Hulk's been part of that team, which we will talk about in a minute. So sometimes Deadpool's been part of that team. Sometimes Psylocke has been part of that team. Like there's been plenty of, sometimes Dakin's. I don't know if they're gonna do Dakin in this Wolverine game. Dakin is the son of Wolverine, right? I don't know if they're gonna do Dakin, right? Sometimes Dakin's been part of that team. And it's a really cool team. So just because the X-Men don't exist yet, I like that. I like how it's gonna start without the X-Men being formed, because if Insomniac does an X-Men game, we get to see the formation of Insomniac's version of the X-Men, right? Now, I think that's cool. Now, by no means do I think this Wolverine game will be an origin game. I think Wolverine's been around for years at this point in the Insomniac Marvel Gaming universe, right? I think he's been around for years. I think he's been in the shadows, right? But he's been around for years. Like Wolverine, like if you go, like, this is why I'm so excited for Wolverine to be like to be in the MCU eventually. Like Wolverine has fought alongside Captain America in World War II. Wolverine has um has existed for over 100 years, right? So he's lived a long time in the comics. So I'm interested to see where they put him in the timeline in the Insomniac universe, right? Now, do I think there is gonna be a Weapon X section where you see him breaking out of Weapon X? I think so. I think they're gonna allude to his origin. I think there is gonna be somewhat of his origin, right? I think Stryker, like William Stryker, could be a possibility. We already know Volber Trask is a villain, right? Volber Trask is, um, sometimes he's the leader of Reavers. Sometimes he's just their financial backer, and then but Volber Trask hates mutants, right? So that's the guy that builds the Sentinels and creates the Sentinels and stuff like that. And we know that Logan, I'm gonna say this now because this is just my theory. You as Logan are going to fight multiple Sentinels, right? And more multiple Sentinel prototypes. And then I think you're gonna have well, we know we're fighting, because we've showed it in both trailers. We know we're fighting a big Sentinel, right? We also know that Omega Red's in this game. Now, Omega Red, that boss fight's gonna be very interesting because Omega Red takes away Logan's powers. Omega Red is um the Russian version of Wolverine. So Omega Red has like tentacles and stuff like that. And these tentacles, I forget what the exact thing is called, but they take away Logan's powers, right? So Logan does, well, yeah, they take away his powers, so he doesn't have his healing factor, right? And then Olgon is very interesting. Olgon is a like he's kind of like Wolverine's version of Scarecrow. So if that if that were to be a boss fight, I would be interested to see how Insomniac covers that in their universe, right? Now, let's talk about the big two that are associated with Wolverine, even though they're not Wolverine, like a well, they're Wolverine adjacent characters. One of them is Deadpool. Now, I would love to see Insomniacs take on Deadpool. I would love to see Insomniacs take on Deadpool, right? I think eventually we could get Insomniacs take on Deadpool. Not in this game though. They still gotta establish Wolverine. They still gotta establish like how long have mutants existed in the world. They still gotta establish like what has this Wolverine done. Now, the other one that is associated with Wolverine that all Wolverine fans have wanted a fight that you can either play as Wolverine versus or you can either play as Wolverine versus the Hulk or you want to see Wolverine versus the Hulk in the movies, right? Now, I think the Hulk could be a possibility in this game. Why do I think the Hulk could be a possibility in this game? Now, they haven't alluded to anything, right? But Wolverine made his first appearance in a Hulk book. Yeah, Wolverine made his first appearance in a Hulk book. And can you imagine the boss fight potential between Wolverine and the Hulk? Oh my god. Again, that would be another character where I would love to see Insomniac's take on their version of the Hulk, right? Now, I just wanted to do this video to speculate with you guys and um, to, to, to just throw out my ideas. If you guys have any ideas for what could happen in this Wolverine game, please leave them in the comments below. Just remember to please be kind and please be respectful of other people's opinions. And yeah, so for me, oh yes, and I think the post-credit scene to this game will be, because Insomniac does post-credit scenes in all their superhero games. I think the post-credit scene will be Professor X showing up to Logan and being like, "We need to start a team, Logan," or something like that, or yeah, we need to start a team, or Cyclops or somebody from the X-Men realm of characters, right? I think one of the post-credit scenes in this game will be setting up the X-Men team. So yeah, thank y'all so much for all your support, and I hope you have a great day, and God bless you guys. And please subscribe, like, and share this video if you enjoy this content.